Hi Cancer, welcome to your general energies for money and relationships for the beginning of January. I'm just saying the beginning of January just because I know we're a couple of days in, and I did do a separate video on the astrology for the month if you want to check that out. So I hope you guys are doing great today. I'm going to start off we're going to first start with career, and then we'll go into relationship. I will timestamp for relationship section. You guys have stuff going on in relationship and career. You do have Mars and Aries in your 10th house of career. Now, 10th house is not only career, though, it's public reputation. So we have to look at that as also a house of marriage, not the relationship, but the institution of marriage. Now, you have Mercury and Pluto conjunct in your 7th house for the first 7 days of the month. They're hanging out there together with the sun there shining. So I feel like for many of you, this is a great energy for anything business related. And even the square to Mars is going to be, I feel like, an energy that's going to push you to want to do something different as far as career. Now, for others of you, that's Mars in Aries energy in the 10th squaring the 7th could be a lot of tension being felt in your relationships. So it could kind of go 6 1, half dozen the other. But now when we're talking about both Mercury as well as even Venus, right now Venus for you guys is in the 6th house. What is the 6th house? 6th house is problem solving energy, right? 6th house has to do with your mental, physical, emotional health. It has to do with your day-to-day work environment. Some more work energy there, who you work with and for. It has to do with your day-to-day experience. You have Venus in there, really nice. So I feel like some nice offer could come in this week. You know, thinking about the Mercury and Pluto conjunct in the 7th house of partnerships, people you have a shared soul connection with. It's not only marriage partnerships, it's also people, very close people that we work with. So, you know, a business partner, anybody maybe having a really great conversation about maybe going into business with somebody. For some of you, that could definitely be it. But then Venus, as well as Mercury, come January 8th, are moving, right? So Venus is going to be moving from being in Sagittarius in your 6th house to being in Capricorn in your 7th house. So it could be a little challenge. We're going to talk about that when we get to the relationship portion of the section regarding relationship, but Venus does soften things. So we're going to talk about that. And then regarding Mercury, right? Mercury is going to drop from your 7th house and transition over into your 8th house. So it's going to be a lot of communication regarding it could be legal settlements, tax payouts, the finalization of something having to do with any sort of agreement. 8th house has to do with your partner's money. It has to do with intimacy. It has to do with shared resources. It has to do with any sort of anything having to do with investment. Right, because 8th house rules the stock market. It rules money that you get via investments, via inheritance, anything like that. But it also has to do with your partner's money and how your money blends with your partner's money. So in the 8th, Mercury is all about communication, right? And making positive changes. So I like that. You know, combined with this problem-solving energy, I do feel like it's going to be a week of a lot of communicating, or at least a lot of sieving through how you feel regarding something having to do with money, but also your relationships. Okay, so a little bit of both. So we're going to start out with career. Let's get the situation first. I'm going to be using the Light Seer Tarot, and I'm going to be clarifying with the Lenormand, one of my Lenormand decks. Those of you who are not familiar with the Lenormand, it's different than regular tarot. It's an ancient system. It's very powerful. It's a card system, but you're going to notice the images are not the same. Okay. Okay, so having to do with some sort of money situation. Now, again, this could have to do with anything regarding money, Cancer. It could have to do with your career, your job, your partner's money, any sort of legal settlement, payout from any sort of legal situation, taxes, investment, anything like that. It's coming into this energy, King of Swords, which I always like this energy, to be honest with you, when it comes to money, right? Because we should not be emotional when it comes to our money. And the King of Swords is very strategic, very intentional, very trying to, whether it has to do with a career that you're in, any sort of legal situation, any sort of investment, even for a lot of you who are on the younger side, this could also have to do with fields of study that you're in, right? Where it has to do with being very practical and very sort of like, it makes sense. Not allowing your emotions to rule the show. Not an easy thing for a Cancer to do, right? Because you guys are a water sign. The situation we have, though, we have the Ten of Wands that's being complemented by the Queen of Pentacles. So the Ten of Wands is feeling very stressed and exhausted, being very burdened by something. So guys, this could certainly be that you're very burdened regarding something that you're involved in right now. Some sort of money-making situation, be it your job, be it, that business connection. There could be definitely that lawsuit, that legal thing that's like hanging right now. Keeping it real, this could obviously have to do with anything regarding relationship as well. If your marriage is, maybe you guys are deciding to get divorced, or there's some sort of family situation that's going on that needs to be worked through. Some things become very burdensome for you, and that cycle needs to end, right? The situation right now is definitely the ending of a cycle, right? And then we have this being complemented, though, by the Queen of Pentacles, which is being very resourceful, being focused on growth, being focused on having ultimately a strong foundation and making the money that you need, bringing in the money that you need to have a very solid future. So for some of you Cancers, this could definitely be realizing that what you're involved in right now, staying very practical, it's not going to bring you what it is that you're really looking for, going into your future. What it is that you need to have the lifestyle that you want. Your willingness is here 100%. I mean, we got the Queen of Pentacles. So definitely. Now, for some of you, the Queen of Pentacles could certainly be, leaving a situation that you're involved in because you're meeting a Queen of Pentacles who's super resourceful. And there's this idea of, they could be offering you something that you're going to be able to grow in. For others of you, keeping it real, maybe somebody's pregnant, right? Because the Queen of Pentacles also rules this idea of fertility and domesticity. So you could be very focused on this idea of, I need to make more money because my partner's pregnant. I need to make more money because we need to buy a house, right? There's something where you're in this space of realizing something may not be working for you, or something may not ultimately end up being enough for you. That you're currently, this guy really wants to come out. Ooh, we have messenger energy coming in. So first of all, there's a new cycle starting, right? Whenever we get this messenger, it's all about a new cycle, right? Because she's on the merry-go-round. Merry-go goes up and down, up and down. She's starting a new cycle, but you see she's got the messenger bag with a letter. So there's some sort of communication that's coming in that's going to incite a new cycle. I like I like this energy. This is some sort of news is coming into you that's going to incite a new cycle. So it's either that job offer, a settlement offer, but something coming in that's going to start this new cycle. Now, the best that can be achieved from the current situation right now is the Hermit. And I like this because the Hermit is Virgo, and Virgo is the problem-solving energy of the zodiac. So you're going within for clarity. You're definitely on a quest for personal truth, spiritual illumination. What is right for you regarding this situation? What do you really want to do? Right? What do you really want to do, Cancer? And you very much in this space of problem solving. Problem solving. That's so the Hermit energy. Okay, and then we have the Storks, which does indicate a new life. So you're solving a problem having to do, So some of you may be transitioning certainly out of a business partnership, a marriage, something like that, where you're definitely thinking about, okay, what do I have to do now, given this new set of circumstances that are presented to me? Or you're in this space where you're like, you know what? I'm really resolved to make sure things are different now. Because the Storks bring babies, right? What are babies? A new life. Now, for some of you, as I mentioned before, some of you can quite literally, with the Queen of Pentacles, be finding out that you're now going to be responsible for another child, or a child in the first place, something like that. Something that you need to nurture and cultivate that you're going to need the finances for, okay? And so for some of you, it can be quite literal interpretation of that. But for others of you, it's just this next stage of life. Now, the foundation, the reason for the reading, we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is all about being self-sufficient, financial gains, really being able to have enough money for what it is that you want to do, right? The solo pleasures that you really enjoy. that you really want to take part in. Definitely. I like this. You're getting, there's accolades coming in here. So you're being acknowledged, Cancer. Somebody's acknowledging you, having to do with good, okay. So there's some sort of well wishes going on, somebody validating the kind of worker you are, validating your skill set. I like this idea of you being, I'm getting a really good energy here where you're very focused on being self-sufficient in your financial gains and people giving you really positive feedback regarding the worker that you are, regarding what it is that you offer. So I really like that. So you're getting I feel like you're getting a lot of positive feedback. But this is you right now. You and only you. 5 of Wands. Oh, I feel like you're in a battle of the wills with yourself here, Cancer. I feel like, this is a Saturn and Leo energy. And whenever Saturn joins Leo, the shadow side of Leo ends up manifesting, which can be egotism. It can be, overly focused on self, overly focused on maybe the wrong thing. Look, this is about rivalry and challenges and obstacles. Feeling very rivalrous, but this is only you. Like this is the you section. So I feel like you're being rivalrous with yourself. So you may be really wanting to do one thing, Cancer. You may be wanting to follow a certain path. You may be wanting to make a certain kind of investment, buy that home, buy that property, buy that business. Really bring that creative idea to the forefront, change jobs, change careers, whatever it is. But you are battling with yourself, and you need to ask yourself why. Are you wanting to change only because of money? Are you wanting to change only because you want to just feel good about what you do and you don't care about money, but you know that money is important, within the context of your life? So there's this battle, I feel like, going on within you. A battle of the wills. Yeah. And we have the mountains, which it's not the end of the world. It just means that there's some obstacles that are going on. So there's some sort of mountain that you have to climb, right? I mean, quite literally, like it's not going to be easy. What you are thinking about will not be easy, whatever it is. Okay, and that therein lies, I feel like, the battle within you regarding this financial situation. But your environment, the external influences affecting you right now, we have the Page of Swords energy. And the Page of Swords is all about a truth. It's about the truth of a situation. The reality of a situation really kind of being very, very, I'm not even going to say obvious, just brought to your attention. Like the reality of a situation. We have that being clarified by the patient man. Really full of desire, being very patient, looking at the past. Okay, I mean, for those of you in a situation where the finances are being impacted because of a divorce or the ending of a partnership of any kind, there's a very nostalgic sort of looking at the past, trying to be patient, understanding the truth of the situation. But there can be definitely this bringing something from the past into now, realizing you need to be patient. Very interesting, because we have the King of Wands here in your hope and fear. The King of Wands is a very first of all, it's a very courageous energy. It's bold, very bold. It's a Cancer and Leo energy. So Leo's very fiery, right? Focused on creativity. Focus on doing what you love. In Cancer, it's working with Cancer, right? And what you guys are all about, feeling grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. So this is what you're hoping for. You want to do something that you love, that brings you this feeling of security, but you're afraid you're not going to be able to feel that or experience that. You're afraid of that. I don't blame you. But look, we have it working with owls. So some sort of message coming into you. Your intuition is speaking to you very, very strongly. I almost feel like a cyclical kind of vibe. I would have liked to have gotten the Ace of Swords here in this mix, because they do feel like you're on the precipice of realizing something. But there's this, we have the Knight of Swords, fast talking energy that incites a lifestyle change. This could be a rather aggressive energy that you may need to deal with. Somebody coming in, presenting some sort of truth, some sort of reality to you that ends up inciting some sort of change within the dynamic. So this could be, you know, obviously it could be divorce, right? It could be the ending of a business partnership. It could be, but the truth of a situation that incites the lifestyle change of something could be any sort of legal argument, legal dispute, anything like that. So I feel like just for this beginning part of January, there could be a situation that comes up in either work or some kind of financial situation that ends up putting you in this space of trying to figure out what it is that you really need, what you need to do, how you need to strategize moving forward to be happy and to get what it is that you really want with that Four of Swords energy. But let's pull in Norman for the Knight of Swords. We have the Park energy, right? So the Park does indicate other people, even though there's nobody in this card. This indicates networking, meeting other people, being involved with other, it's definitely other people involved here. Networking opportunities, it could be online, it could be via social media, in-person networking, anything like that. So, but it's dealing with other people, having to do with this situation, and that therein lies the conflict. So while you're networking or while you're dealing with other people, this is where this truth could be sort of served up. That ends up inciting a change in what it is that you ultimately want to do. Now, we have this working with the Four of Swords. This is Jupiter in Libra. And Jupiter is all about expanding, right? It's about luck and expansion, right? And it's in Libra, which rules your 7th house of partnerships. So it could be business partnerships. You're trying to figure out what it is that, it's about fairness too. And, you know, what is the right thing for you? What is fair? What's not fair? Having to do with whatever it is that you're getting involved in regarding money. What do you really want? Now, obviously, because the 7th house has to do with marriage partnerships, it could certainly be you being in this space where you're trying to work out some sort of divorce agreement, whether it's alimony, child support, whatever it is, and you very much being in the space of dealing with a challenging personality and trying to figure out what's fair, what's not fair, kind of thing. That's going to resonate with some of you. Others of you might be going through that in a business partnership, some sort of investment, or just even about, you know, your workplace, what's fair, what's not fair. Very focused on the future, focused on the Venusian element, right? The glyph around her heart, the emblem is her, is the Venus symbol. So Venus is about money. It's about self-worth and self-value. Yeah, and it has to do with love as well. But it's looking into the future. Is it going to be enough money for my future? Am I going to feel good about myself being involved in this? Is this going to be a good thing? Am I going to love what I'm doing? Am I going to be happy with the outcome of this settlement, of this investment, of whatever it is that's going on? Very heavily thinking about the future. And I don't feel like all the answers are going to come to you right now. Just, you know, keeping it real. I want to be honest about it, right? We do have Mars and Aries in that 10th house, which is going to be creating that tension, right? There's going to be a lot of conversation because, again, going back to that Mercury and Pluto conjunction, which is in your 7th house for the first 7 days of the month, and then Mercury goes into that 8th house. That 8th house is where we do all of this like negotiating here, right? And so it's about endings and beginnings and finalizing and starting things up and all of that. Mercury's going to be in there. There's going to be a lot of conversation going on in that area. And then with Venus dropping into Capricorn in your 7th, there is going to be this understanding that there are going to be, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, right? And Saturn is about these challenges and these restrictions that you need to work through as you're solving these problems. So I don't want to give anybody false hope. You know, I don't like to do that. But what I'm saying is I feel like that's going to be the situation regarding money for the beginning of January. Okay, my friends, that is what I have for you as far as money goes. It's just still working through something. Definitely having to do with some sort of financial situation. All right, so now we're going to go into relationship. So same style. I think we're just going to use the old Rider-Waite, and I'm going to use my other Lenormand deck, qualifying. Okay, so relationships, Cancer. Again, Venus is in that 6th house for the first 7 days, then drops into the 7th house in Capricorn. Venus with Capricorn. Venus is a very softening energy. So whatever you have to work out, whatever you need to work through, having to do with marriage, partnerships, anything like that, there's going to be the softening element to it. There will be a softening. And you're going to have Mercury in there helping you out with the communication. But we do have Mars, squaring there in the 10th. And the 10th does have to do, it's about more than career. Again, it has to do with the institution of marriage as well. Because it has to do with your public reputation. Are you together, you're not together, that kind of thing. So not only marriage, how are you known out in the world? Are you known as a couple, or are you, not anymore kind of thing, right? All right. Cancer, I'm seeing some pain here. I'm sorry. Ooh, nice. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Let's see what's going on here. All right. So in the past, 10 of Pentacles, beautiful. I feel like you guys were in this situation where you were focused on talking about getting married, being married, growing a family, talking about growing a family, talking about leaving a legacy, talking about building, buying a home, where are you going to live, buying a business, what, 10 of Pentacles is very much about maturing. Pentacles has to do with money, but it also has to do with mental, physical, and emotional connection. And the 10 of Pentacles is often associated with a family vibe. So it doesn't mean you guys have to legally actually even be family, but being each other's people, you know what I mean? Like being each other's family. That's what I see in the past coming up to this energy, but then I see something changing. Okay, so we have this 5 of Cups, painful energy, feeling of loss, regret, grief, feeling abandoned, feeling unloved. Focusing though on the 3 cups that are down and not even seeing these 2 cups that are still standing, which have to do with love and how valued you are and how amazing you are. So there may be a level of newness to this. Now what's crossing it is the 5 of Swords. Not an easy energy. 5 of Swords can definitely be indicative of a violent, abusive relationship. Swords are truth, they're words, it's yelling. You're not going to win this one, Cancer. It's just the way it is. You can't, the louder you yell, the more you cry, the louder they yell, the more they cry. No one is hearing anybody anymore. It's like the only thing you can control is how you react to the situation, and the best thing that you can do is to bow away gracefully with respect and just understand that you may feel like you didn't win this battle, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to win the war, kind of thing. And that's definitely this kind of energy. It's nursing the short-term wounds, because something is rather painful for you right now that did not work out, that you were feeling so very hopeful for, right? Cancer, I'm sorry. That's the thing with the 5 of Swords. And the thing, what are you arguing about? Well, it's a Venus and Aquarius energy. So it's, for some of you, the argument could be about one of you wanting to go just in a different direction. Aquarius is different than what it is now. Some of you, the argument might be, it's never going to be any different than this in the future. This idea of the future and there being this battle of the future. We have the bouquet that's working with this energy. And I like the bouquet because the bouquet does indicate to me meeting new people, getting back out there, social networking, meeting people on social media, going on websites, hanging out with your friends, doing different things that are actually putting you out there. This is definitely what should be going on for you. You may not feel like it though. That's the thing. But the advice here is to actually work with connecting with people and not allow yourself to go into your shell, right? As you know, Cancers can do that, right? I mean, you guys are the crab. You can kind of go into yourself. Now we have the Seven of Pentacles is the best that could be achieved right now, given these certain circumstances, and this is all about being patient, understanding that there may be delayed success for you in this relationship, but the understanding that relationships are hard work. No illusion that it's easy. But what I like about the Seven of Pentacles is that it's the Four of the World and the Three of the Trinity. It's where I consider heaven and earth meeting. It's literally the starting of a new cycle. All right, the page is turning. Page is turning. We get the key. Now, what does the key mean? The key means that you can take your pain and lock it up inside of yourself. The idea of love, take that and lock it up inside of yourself. The idea of trust, take it and lock it up inside of yourself. Or you can use this key to open yourself up and not allow yourself to be very marred and very damaged by anything that you've gone through in the past. It's this idea of really being open and honest, right? And to have that working with the Seven of Pentacles right now, I like that because it's you being honest with yourself and allowing yourself to feel your pain. Allowing yourself to feel the pain. And we have the foundation here, the Empress. I mean, look, for some of you, you maybe were in a space of really wanting to create something with somebody. Like seriously, create a life with them. For some of you, it's the fact that you are a mother. For others of you, you wanted a mother, you wanted a father, you wanted a parent. The Empress energy is about fertility and creation and pregnancy and abundance and growing stuff, right? Now everybody's looking to get pregnant, obviously. The Empress energy is Venus. It's a straight Venus energy in astrology. So feeling good, feeling, wanted, feeling happy, feeling good about yourself, feeling loved, feeling very abundant. And the thing is, I feel like for some of you, you felt like you had this with this person and now you don't. And you're like, what the hell happened? For others of you, you're just very focused on bringing this to yourself. For others of you, it's a combination of both of those things. Recognizing that while something may not have worked out in the past, that's very much what you want to bring to yourself again. But obviously with somebody that's not going to give you this 5 energy. It's somebody, and it's, dare I say, more worth it, but just more right for you, that you're able to have that with. Right now, you're in a place of pain. Right now, you're just feeling very isolated. You're not feeling yourself. You're very worried. Some of you can be very concerned about money, but the Pentacle energy is mental, physical, emotional connection. And it's focused on what you don't have. But why I like this energy too, it's because this stained glass, right? So this is supposed to represent a church. Now, for those of you that don't know about churches, because we have all different religions and, cultures out there, churches are a place of reprieve. Their doors are never supposed to be closed classically, right? Now we have to, unfortunately, because of the weird world we live in. But normally the church's doors are always open. They're always warm. You could go in and get something to eat if you're in need. If you're in need, the church classically was a place to go. But you see, they're just focused on the cold, moving forward in the ice, focusing on the pain and the discomfort, not realizing that they have support, so much support right there. Right there. They just need to look up and over their shoulder. But it's focusing on the pain. And now, just to be fair, I feel like this 5 energy is not old enough for you to realize the level of support that may be available to you, for those of you who are resonating with that. let's pull for the foundation right now. We do have the child working with the Empress energy. Just to backtrack a little bit there. So the Empress energy, being the mother, obviously you could be in a situation where things are very painful for you right now in relationship, and there is a focus on having a child or children that you do have already. For others of you, it could be your desire to build something, because the child is something that you grow together, right? Again, interesting that came up with the Empress energy. But look, you see the pentacles? Look what we have. Cancer, beautiful. We have the clover working with you. You're going to be okay no matter what you're feeling right now. It's going to be fine in the end. Even though you may be feeling this sense of isolation right now, the fact that we got the clover energy tells me that whatever you're processing right now is completely necessary. Now, your environment, right, this external influence that's affecting you, as we have the Hangman. The Hangman's reverse here. So the Hangman reverse is, and this is an external influence that's affecting you. External. So somebody external from you is feeling like a victim. Somebody external from you is being very selfish. And that's affecting you. They're feeling like a victim in their own life. They're feeling like they're needing to sacrifice something, right? But they're being selfish at the end of the day. And they don't really even see it. And we have this work in clarification is the man looking at the future, being very, very patient. You're trying to be very patient looking at the future while they're at least acting quite selfish, feeling like the victim of a situation. But in your hope and your fear, we have the Judgment energy, which is about clarity and a final decision. It's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. Now, this is in your personal psychology, right? This is in your hope, which is internal, and your fear, which is internal. So you may be afraid to actually admit something about this relationship to yourself. But at the same time, you would love to have this sort of point of forgiveness, right? Because the Judgment really is about the past. And it's about everything being presented from the past and saying, you know what? Everybody did what they thought was the right thing in the moment. It didn't work out. Let's just forgive and let's just move on. Some of you may be having a real challenge with that right now. Some of you may be hoping for a reconnection. Others of you afraid of making that final release. And some of you are just so damn mad that you can't even you would like to be able to forgive so that you can release them, but it may be too fresh and it may be too big. Some things are really big and it takes a long time to get them off of us, right? We have the idea of tree, which has to do with roots, grounded, feeling a strong foundation. You're afraid of not feeling grounded and rooted in another relationship. Others of you are feeling very afraid to release something because you feel like it's going to greatly compromise your feeling of feeling safe, grounded, rooted. For example, let's say if a relationship ends, maybe you have to move out, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what do? I got to pay for everything myself. Where am I going to live? I'm going to feel really insecure and vulnerable, right? Particularly if you have kids, or I have to uproot, literally, uproot everybody. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Some of you may be fearing that, but a lot of you may be hoping for that, right? You want to just get past this situation and just feel grounded again. That's what you're hoping for, right? And you will. It just takes time. Now check out the near future. We have the Page of Wands. This is like a new, right? Page is the young'un of the court. So this could either be you or you meeting somebody new that incites a new cycle in your life. A Page of Wands is very passionate. It could be somebody who is pretty immature, though, keeping it real, because it's the young'un of the court. Keeping in mind the wand is about passion and motivation and desire. It's also a phallic symbol. I don't think I need to point that out to you. But so you could be dealing with somebody who it's either feeling very impassioned by somebody new. You could also be dealing with an energy. I'm trying to cover the bases because this is a general message. The person that you're dealing with may be very immature, and they could be a player energy. And you realizing this in the future, in the near future, you realizing that, they're actually, looking to play around. In the near future, this could be you, Cancer. You could be looking to do this, right? Because again, it's this very passionate, very kind of free-spirited, kind of lusty energy, but it could be kind of like, oh, you know what, I'm not looking to get serious kind of energy. But that could be a problem if you are in a serious relationship. So again, for some of you, this can indicate being with somebody who's a bit of a player energy, not very mature. They want to play around. And for many of you, you didn't even see it coming. It's like, boom, hit you right between the eyes. For some of you. Others of you, this could be like, you know what, I've been through so much. I need to take a break. I want to just go play the field a little bit. Let's see what the Lenormand say. We got the Tower. Now, the Tower in Lenormand is different than in Tarot. It's more positive. In Lenormand, it's very supportive. This is a very supportive energy. So, this could have to do with ending a marriage, getting married, counseling. Some of you may be putting yourself into therapy, which is so awesome if this is something that you're struggling with. Because whenever we get the 5 energy, we got the double 5 as it's just situation right now. You're needing to actually work through something, and it might require some professional help. It's assistance from an outside, like, larger agency, and it represents like an institution. So it can represent the institution of marriage. It can represent, but also the dissolution of the institution of marriage. So for some of you, you're going to be realizing like, wow, oh my gosh, I totally see this person for who they are right now, and I want to get out of here. I want to get the divorce, or I need to leave them, and I'm going to go just get myself some therapy, work through my stuff, and do whatever I need to do. But others of you, you may be dealing with this immature energy, but you may be still wanting to get married. I'm just saying, there could be that. Now we have as the final outcome energy, we have the World. The World is so positive because this is lesson learned. You've been through a lot here, and now it's time for you to just get the blessings of the hard stuff that you've just experienced with this energy. This is Saturn. Saturn lessons are beautiful because they're very long lasting, but it means you put the hard work into something. Now it's time for you to get a blessing, Cancer. Really beautiful. But then we have the Whips. So we have a lesson learned, and we have an argument. So I have to pull another clarifier there for that, because there's some sort of lesson learned and there being an argument. And then we have the Bear. So the Bear has to do with mother, anything to do with mother or mothering. So this could have to do with the argument, lesson learned, but you guys are arguing about something to do with children. Or what does a mother give to us? Sustenance, right? So arguing about money, the roof over your head, the money in your pocket. So this could certainly be arguing after you learn this lesson about some sort of settlement. Who's doing what? Who's giving what? How's this going to roll out? For many of you, it's going to be that. But it's basic needs, fighting about the basic needs that you require within the relationship. So even if it doesn't have to do with anything material, it's literally like what is needed in the relationship for it to be successful. Don't trust them. You're dealing with a fox. Somebody who's very two-faced, says one thing to your face and does another on the side. Lesson learned. Cancer, I'm sorry. If you're not resonating with this, do not try to make it fit. But for those of you, lesson learned, my friend. And you know what? You have a lot of blessings coming your way. And you got the Clover right now with this 5 of Pentacles energy. And you got the bouquet is the situation right now. I have to tell you, I feel like definitely get out there. Talk to people. I feel like there's another energy that's sort of lingering around you that very much wants to get to know you. There's no question to me. But you have to allow it, right? With that key. Allow it. Yeah. But I mean, you got you get the bouquet, you get the clover. I really like that. Somebody, but you know what? Cancer, we can't fix other people. You know what I mean? We can't. Doesn't make the person that you're dealing with a bad person. It just makes them not for you. Because obviously they have their own stuff going on. We get the Hangman reverse. It's the only reversal we got in the whole spread, right? There's selfishness there. Them feeling like a victim. Them feeling like woe is me because of something going on in their life. Cross watches, I'm sorry. That's what I'm getting. So anyway, my friends, that's what I have for you this week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.